It is our top story here at noon. A dramatic landing in Tokyo this morning. Video captured the moment a Japan Airlines jetliner erupted into flames after it collided with a Coast Guard plane on the runway. Take a look at that explosion. Miraculously, all 379 passengers and crew aboard that Airbus made it out safely. But we do know at least 5 of the 6 Coast Guard members on that smaller jet were killed. ABC's Im Win explains what we've learned from the investigation.
A terrifying scene at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. A Japan Airlines plane erupting into flames after it collided with a Japan Coast Guard aircraft on the runway. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida says all 379 on board the passenger plane, including 8 children, are expected to be okay. They were evacuated before the plane was engulfed in flames. But at least 5 people on the second aircraft were killed, only the captain making it out alive. NHK reports that crew was preparing to fly to Nagata, Japan for earthquake relief en route to deliver supplies to the affected region. The quake's death toll reaching at least 49, with dozens still trapped under rubble. Fire teams at Haneda worked feverishly to extinguish the flames that streaked across the runway.
The plane completely disintegrated, but it is remarkable that not a single one of those passengers was hurt or killed in that collision.
The JAL passenger flight was landing at Haneda from Hokkaido. Experts say the plane, an Airbus A350, is a total loss, but is a testament to how newer commercial planes are designed to ensure all on board can evacuate within 90 seconds. The incident, a rare one, with experts saying Japan Airlines holds an impeccable safety record.
The airplane did its job here. What we think what happened is that this was pilot error. Somebody, probably on the Japanese Coast Guard side, taxied onto that active runway when they weren't supposed to.
Now, Japanese safety officials will start a lengthy investigation into what caused the collision. The condition of the surviving captain of that Coast Guard plane remains unclear. Im Win, ABC News, Washington.
You can download the WHAS11 app to stay up to date on this developing story. Well, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg says he and his family were not impacted by that deadly earthquake mentioned earlier in Japan while vacationing there through the new year. It happened around 4 p.m. local time. A 7.6 magnitude earthquake shook the western coast, killing at this point now 55 people. The Greenbergs say their thoughts are with Japan and the families affected. They plan to travel back to Louisville later this week. Happening right now, Kentucky lawmakers are back to work. The 2024 legislative session began at noon today right in Frankfort, and we have an idea of some of the big topics on their radar, including guns and homelessness. For weeks, we've told you about the Safer Kentucky bill, which will work to address violent crime. The bill gives a clearer avenue to put repeat violent offenders away for life. All of the Jefferson County Republicans co-sponsored this bill, and Republican Majority Rep Jason Nemes says it has a 3-strike provision, which means if someone gets convicted of 3 violent crimes like murder, aggravated assault, or rape, they would be sentenced to life in prison.
Not your normal 3 strikes and you're out, or 3 strikes and the heightened penalty kind of thing. It's about violent offenses. And so, we think that's fair. I think maybe 2 would be fair.
Kentucky already has a persistent offender law that allows a sentence to be elevated to life without parole in some circumstances. Democrats, including Senator Gerald Neal from Louisville, says that law goes far enough because increasing punishments for crime does not address the root causes of crime.
We have so many laws on the books. Now we're going to enforce something so it's comfortable to us. That's a simple way of responding to it. But if you get down to mental health and housing and all that sort of stuff, it gets very complex.
Nemes told us that he does not believe any bills will be passed during this first week of session, but more organizing and getting ducks in a row. This session is slated to run through the first 2 weeks of April. We'll be digging into more of the topics on the table in the next half hour. A dozen new laws take effect in Kentucky this week. Here are a few to take note of. First, Kentucky income taxes are going down by ½ percentage point to 4%. That tax is slated to stay the same for 2025. And a heads up for those of you who drive electric or hybrid cars. You'll now have to pay an annual ownership fee of $120. That's half the cost for electric or hybrid motorcycles. And this money will go toward Kentucky's road fund. Now, in addition, any business, church, or library library that offers EV charging to the public has to pay a monthly usage tax to the state. And there is now a law that could save you from paying more for your subscriptions. Businesses will be required to clearly show customers continuous automatic renewals and include an easy way to cancel them. We have a list of all the new laws that are in effect now in Kentucky, including changes to retirement and military license plates, right now on WHAS11.com. Louisville police started off the new year extremely busy this week, telling us between midnight and 6 a.m. on New Year's Day, they responded to hundreds of reports of shots fired. Our Ian Hardwood and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton visited with one family who found a bullet in their living room.
As the holiday season wraps up and many of us are looking ahead to 2024, one family out in Fern Creek is having to ring the new year in just a little bit differently.
We had a good time yesterday. We cooked like our traditional food. We had good time with our family. We make samosa, we make donuts in our Nepali style. Everything was nice except this in the morning. Like, welcome 2024 with the bullet gun. It's not exciting at all.
Mitra Bastola says he heard a crash after midnight on New Year's Day, but he thought it was just fireworks.
Yep, it was on the carpet.
A pointed bullet,
yep.
The kind that usually comes out of a rifle.
It was right here, and it's still hot whenever we picked it up.
Landing in the living room, it damaged Bastola's coffee table after piercing the skylight above, as you can see from the WHAS11 drone. He's heard of one other neighbor whose kitchen was struck by a bullet too. After 12 years of living in Louisville, coming to America as a refugee, it's the first time Bastola's encountered gunfire.
Never use gun or bullet or anything.
It's also the second time he's looking to fix the roof on his new house.
But this is the worst because somebody could get shot, right?
Someone like his son, wife, or parents. As a Hindu, Bastola's learned to embrace some American traditions, like Christmas, but celebrating New Year's by shooting guns into the air is one he can't understand.
Like, I know fireworks, 1 or 2 fireworks, I do that fireworks too. I do it with my friends, it's my son. But this is not the way to celebrate anything.
He knows because he's seen how close it could come to shattering a life and ruining a year.
It could kill somebody.
In Fern Creek with Alyssa Newton, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11, on your side.
Metro Council already passed an ordinance outlawing random gunfire back in Louisville in 2022. Well, the power is back on for thousands of LG&E customers after a bullet hit a power line, knocking out the electricity here. Take a look. It happened just after midnight Sunday on Strawberry Lane in South Louisville. The power company said a bullet damaged one of the lines, and then Louisville fire crews responded to that vehicle fire right beneath it that was caused by the down line. LG&E said around 2,400 customers lost their power, but the outages were restored within a few hours. Well, the man who Metro Police say hit 2 police cars during a SWAT situation faced a judge today. 30-year-old Raymond Heenan was arrested yesterday outside the Outer Loop Walmart near Fairdale. He's facing more than 15 charges, including wanton endangerment of a police officer and DUI. LMPD said it started when officers responded to reports of a stolen car at the Walmart. They found Heenan inside of it and asked him to get out. But police said he threw the car into reverse and hit 2 unoccupied police vehicles multiple times. Police also said he was drinking beer in the car while all this was happening. He was arrested after a standoff with officers and SWAT. Heenan pleaded not guilty today and remains in jail on a $50,000 bond. He'll be back in court on January 10th. A man is expected to recover after being shot multiple times at a Waffle House. The shooting happened yesterday at the restaurant on Dixie Highway over in Valley Station. Police arrived just after noon and treated the man's injuries until EMS arrived. We spoke with the victim's son, who told us there's history between his father and the suspect.
An ongoing thing. The guy wasn't supposed to be around any of us. My dad came up here to get some food. Dude was in there, pulled a gun out, shot my dad in the back.
LMPD said 1 person was arrested after that incident.